You think I'll let you zone?
Baka.
Hey guys, let's see if Nathan and Marshall can patch things up as Marshall tries to navigate through everything after the fallout from getting his best friend back from the dead. And now there's a fan film about Radiant Black. The issue opens up with Nathan connecting to the robot and wonders how it can speak to him even though he technically died and the Radiant left him. Nathan asks the robot if he wants him back, but what about Marshall? The robot says his connection is final until he dies, but keeps asking how Nathan is. Nathan guesses the robot doesn't know what's happening either, and is trying to gain information by talking to him. Nathan feels a little better that there are things that the robot doesn't know. At first, Nathan thought the robot was trying to change its choice, but that isn't it, and the robot corrects him by saying, what is it that he really wants to do? Nathan just wants to help Marshall. Later in LaPorte, Marshall and Nathan are arguing over the new fan film about Radiant Black versus Blaze. Marshall hates the idea because it could make his situation even worse than it is with Radiant Black by giving him more bad PR, but Nathan tells him to be open-minded about it because the idea might actually be good, and who knows, it might help him in the long run. Later, Nathan's girlfriend tells him she's going back to LA really soon, but Nathan just can't up and implode his whole life right here and now. She says they can still talk, and Jonah has read his last script. He really likes it, so it could be TV worthy. He tells her goodbye. Later, walking through the film set, Marshall's still pissed about the film as he's damn sure they will destroy his heroic image. Nathan can't believe Marshall isn't enjoying the production. Marshall asks where's JJ as she's supposed to join them for lunch. Nathan says she's going back to LA soon, but he needs to talk to him about the robot's calls. Nathan doesn't care if they talk to each other in circles, but Nathan tells him that he is Radiant Black and that he just wants to help him and be supportive since he's on the other side. Nathan snatched a script from a PA, maybe they should read it, but Marshall wants to blow up the set instead. Marshall's having a meltdown because in the script, Radiant Black is played like a spaz against Blaze. Another overhears the outburst and says Blaze is a legend and asks why does he even think that that Radiant guy can last 2 minutes with Blaze. Marshall goes full death battle nerd by quoting power feats Radiant Black has done while Nathan looks on. Something's going on outside and it's Doppler. The film crew is trying to stop her from putting the suit back on. She sets off a sonic blast that knocks everyone out in the area. And then Radiant Black shows up and can't believe that she's causing more trouble again when he let her go the first time. She tries to explain that it was a misunderstanding, but Radiant says this time he's handing her over to the police, and she sets off another sonic blast. Doppler runs into a bowling alley, but Radiant tells her he doesn't want to be here, so she tells him to leave then. She shoots him into a wall saying she didn't want to fight, just needed a recharge to keep going. Doppler has a condition called essential tremors, and the suit keeps them under control, but it needs a recharge every so often by being near him. She's been co-composing music and helping prisoners with their trauma through music. Doppler asks why does he even want to help, as she doesn't even know what he even stands for when he sounds like a jerk most of the time. Marshall claps back by saying he wants to help people because nobody helped him. Doppler tells him to take his own advice and be better than this, and leaves. Later, in the middle of filming, Radiant Black shows up and goes off on a director while Nathan looks embarrassed. We find out that Marshall is a Batman Beyond fan as he finds out Will Friedle plays him in the film and loves the choice. Radiant overhears that Nathan was helping out with the script and he's really good at it. Nathan tells RB that their hearts are in the right place, so why don't they play along and be supportive? Radiant decides to go along, but with a few of his own inputs and help first. After the shoot, Marshall tells Nathan that Doppler was only there to get a recharge as her gear helps with her tremors as she does community work now. Marshall wonders if the Radiant has any side effects with prolonged use. Nathan asks if they can ask the robot about it. Marshall isn't mad that Nathan talks to the robot. It's something that doesn't feel right as to why it won't talk to him at all. Marshall wants to figure this out on his own. He wants to become his own hero and not some version that Nathan sees him as. And Nathan relents, saying that he was just trying to help. As the issue ends, Doppler doesn't believe what Radiant is saying in the film is coming from the heart and is recruited to help drain Radiant Black of all his power. This issue was really interesting as it focused on Marshall and Nathan's new relationship as the roles have flipped, but Marshall is afraid that the Radiant will go back to Nathan because inside he feels that Nathan is the better choice, as he always screws it up or comes off as a dick to people when he isn't trying to be. While Nathan just wants to help in any way he can, even if it means not telling Marshall right away about the robot calls, and decides to let Marshall figure things out on his own. When he needs help, he'll ask. The choice to get Will, who was the voice of Terry McGinnis, was an amazing one in the animated short that came with the issue. Overall, it was a solid issue. I didn't like the art in some places, it was better in previous issues, but the artist is probably on the timeline, so I'm not too concerned that the art will drop, but we'll see. That should do it for this review. Stay safe, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
If you like the show and want to support the channel, then consider subscribing, as it shows me, I mean us, that you enjoy the content being made.